Hey there, good afternoon everybody. Just thought I'd do a quick video while I was out just having a bit of a run here on procrastination, because it comes up a lot in my life, and so maybe it does in yours too. I'm sure it does. And an example of that is my AWS certification. So I've been through the course, I've made all the notes and done some practice exams, all that stuff, all the stuff you should do, you're meant to do before you take a certification. And I haven't booked the exam. And that's where this perfectionist gene again comes in, that I want to revise again and do the test again and do the test a few times. I think actually, to be honest, I think I've done it 2 or 3 times, one practice exam, and they vary the questions. And but again, it comes down to there's fear of failure, definitely, fear of cocking it up and maybe wasting money and having to retake it. There's also the procrastination of just, I'll do it later because I'm busy at the moment. It's something I need to do or want to do, I choose to do, but I just haven't got around to doing it. And I let other things get in the way. And that's the crucial point, isn't it? I choose to do other things instead of getting my AWS certification booked. And there's other things on my to-do list as well. That's one of the dangers of having a large to-do list, is that there's things on there that stay on there. So I've been, as you might know, I've been playing around with lots of different types of productivity and ways to avoid procrastination, whether you do a short to-do list or you have a master to-do list, then a daily to-do list that has 7 things on it or 3 things on it. All these different techniques you can employ, and I'm still testing that. And still that AWS is sat there on my list. And it also reminded me, because it refreshed in my memory when I was chatting to a few people on some of these clarity calls that I've been doing. And, loads of times I hear people say, I'm gonna look at my CV. I'm gonna look at it. I've got to update it. I know it's bad. I need to update it. And then in the next breath, they're telling me that they've applied for 50 roles. So again, there's this disjoint. Right? If you know you've got to update your CV, you know it's not the best that it can be. There's no such thing as perfection, of course. But you go and submit it for 50 roles. And then you wonder why maybe you're not selected. I'm not saying it's just because of your CV. It's never probably just because of your CV, but you get my point, that you know up here that your CV is not quite cutting it, and then you go and submit it anyway. I've spoken to people when I've said their LinkedIn profile needs a bit of work. Now, I do LinkedIn reviews for people, but I'm not fishing for business. I'm in a contract at the moment, right? That's not what it's about. But some people just need to just tweak a few obvious things on their LinkedIn profile to make it look so much better. And when I talk to them about it, they go, yeah, I know I need to do that. And I'm like, okay, and you're looking for work now? Yes, they say. It's like, well, what if an agency looks at your LinkedIn profile tomorrow, or your CV, whatever? They're not going to know that it could have been 50% better because it's on your to-do list to do tomorrow. They just look at what's in front of them. So don't shoot yourself in the foot, and don't procrastinate about improving your CV, especially if you know it needs fixing. That's why I always say, go for the free CV advice, because even if you think your CV is decent, even if it served you well in the past, that doesn't mean to say you've missed out. You may have missed out on opportunities in the past, because you won't know about that, will you? So why not just run it past me for a quick sanity check? I'll just give you the number one thing that I would change on it. Okay, that's all, just free advice. You don't have to buy the CV Express, which is the next level of CV review, or the CV Booster, which is the full CV review. You don't have to do that. Not worried about that. I'm worried about what is best for you. Right? So if you take the free CV advice and you trust it, and you think, oh, that was actually pretty good, and I can afford to spend 30 quid and get 3 more juicy bits of advice because I now know, like and trust Dave, he's not talking rubbish, then go for the CV Express, okay? Or not, I don't mind, I won't be offended. 30 quid is not going to fucking change my life, is it? But it might change yours if you get that role. So I would just urge you, if you've got the money to do that and you think the free CV advice is any good, I would go for the next level up. Yeah. Same for your LinkedIn profile. Just, even if you spent 10 minutes improving your LinkedIn profile, that could make all the difference. So it's like the 80-20 rule, isn't it? It's like getting the 80% of the results from the 20% of actual action. So it doesn't mean if you had 100 things you were going to change on your LinkedIn profile, just do 20% of those things and you're going to get most of the results out of that. And of course that's the same sometimes with your CV, isn't it? That's why I say get the free advice and the 3 next biggest things that I would change, and then you've fixed 4 of the major things on your CV, according to me of course, but if you agree with me, you're going to change them. And then go for a full review. I'll tell you if I think a full review will be beneficial to you, because it pains me to see people putting CVs forward that are below the potential that they could be. That's probably the best way to put it, because lots of these CVs are not crap. There are some bad ones out there, of course, but when you see a CV that's been reworked, rejigged, and when I speak to some of the people on the phone, I see this mismatch again, this disjoint between, at the start of the call, there's this lack of confidence and they're down, and then at the end of the call, sometimes, not all the time, but at the end of the call, it's just fantastic. There's just this difference in confidence that I can hear from the people that I have these clarity calls with. And I sometimes then look at the people's CVs and go, I don't see that confident person on the CV. I see that quiet and lacking confidence and reserved person on the CV. And of course you want that confident version of yourself to be coming through, the powerful version of yourself. So just have a look at your CV, have a look at your LinkedIn profile if you're looking for work. Don't send it off until you've done those minor tweaks or ask for the CV advice or whatever. And look also elsewhere at where are you procrastinating in life? Where are you putting stuff off that you need to do, you want to do, you choose to do, yet you choose to put other things in front of it and don't do the things that would really light you up or push you further in life. So anyway, I hope that's useful. I'm going to go to the shops now, then go back and cook my wife a nice chicken laksa and maybe have a beer or a glass of wine. Okay, hope you have a fantastic day. All the best. See you, bye.